you envy comes with a hidden cost. It's not just money or effort, it's something far deeper. What are you truly willing to sacrifice for your dream life, and is it really worth it? It is no secret that social media is designed to make us addicted, and that addiction and obsession with other people's lives is making us insecure. I deleted my social media on multiple occasions for a very long time because I was getting frustrated. I was getting angry, envious, and triggered every time I saw someone live what seemed like the perfect life. Then the famous question popped up. How come I don't have what this person has? Or we all know those I wish or if only thoughts that start to form. I wish I had a body like hers. If only I had this kind of confidence. We might even go as far to say things like, she probably didn't even work hard. I bet she bought all of her followers. Everything is so easy for her. Once you start saying things like that, you know you're stuck in the victim mindset, making excuses for yourself, and that's not cool. It's time to make a change. It doesn't matter if those things are true or not because it's not about them. It's about you. I went through the same thought process as well. And when I got sucked down into the rabbit hole of my own feelings, I failed to remember that social media is not a reality. And comparing your real life to someone else's Instagram post makes no sense. Here's why. You go on social media and get consumed by the glamorous lives of other people. You start thinking, I want what this person has. I want their lifestyle, their money, big house, success, relationship, marriage. Without even realizing it, you're putting yourself in such a horrible mental and spiritual state. Not because those things on itself are bad. It's because you're becoming prideful and envious. You start creating your own bubble of disappointment. And that is exactly when comparison steals not only your joy, but also your direction. Because now you start following goals that were never yours in the first place. You start buying things you don't need. You start defining success with someone else's standard. You start craving a relationship that doesn't even match your life or your needs. It is so true when they say, be careful what you wish for. By always thinking the grass is greener on the other side, you might end up chasing completely wrong things. And what's funny about it is you only see what these people are willing to show you. You never get the full story and what was really happening behind the scenes of how they got these things in the first place. So the next time you find yourself envying someone, don't stop at what they have. Ask yourself why it triggered you in the first place. For example, let's say someone just got engaged and you immediately feel jealous. Pause for a second. Do you actually want marriage? Or do you want the attention that comes with it? Do you want a life partner? Or do you simply want to feel chosen, loved, and valued? Because those are two very different things. A lot of the time, we're not jealous of what people actually have. We're jealous of the feeling we think we'll have if we had those things. You know, if you crave a big house, the big house might represent security. The relationship might represent validation. The money might represent freedom. And unless you identify the real desire underneath, you'll spend your life chasing symbols instead of solving the actual problem. That is why comparison is so dangerous. It convinces you that another person's life contains the answer to your life, when it's actually distracting you from a deeper question, which is, what am I really looking for? The moment you start asking that question, you stop putting people on pedestals and you start understanding the real problem better. Just to give you a few examples. It's all over media right now what happened to the wizard Liz. I was watching one of her videos a while back where Landon sent her $10,000 just because, basically. I remember thinking, what a lucky girl. $10,000 is a lot of money. And now, many months later, we unfortunately all know what happened to Liz and that money obviously had some strings attached to it. Another example is that 2 or 3 years ago, I was a huge fan of this one female YouTuber. She is very successful in her niche. She knows what she's doing. And I was feeling envious and getting triggered by her posts. This went on for months. And then it hit me. I assumed I wanted the life she has just because she had something I wanted. Fast forward to now, I don't identify with her anymore. It's not because she's a bad person, it's just that our values didn't really align. Why would I ever want to be like someone else? We might have the same destination, but we don't have the same path. I felt so behind in life when I compared myself to others, but I didn't even want their lives. I compare myself to people who didn't have God as their foundation, who didn't try to put God above everything else and walk in faith. And that is not to say that I'm perfect or that they are bad, but that was not the life I wanted to live. So it made no sense to compare myself because it didn't align with my beliefs or values whatsoever. We all make the mistake sometimes of comparing our level 1 to someone's level 10, and it can cause us to experience some negative feelings. So here are some exercises you can do to break your emotional pattern. Number 1. Please remember that things are not always what they seem. If you scroll on Instagram or TikTok and you find yourself envying someone else's life, instead of assuming that they have everything figured out, remind yourself that you don't know the full story. If you're going to make assumptions, let them help you at least. You might see a big house someone else got, but you don't see the possible debt they put themselves into, or the sleepless nights because of financial problems behind it. You might wish for someone else's body, but maybe this person is struggling with ED behind the scenes. The point isn't to assume that something bad happened to them or to wish hardships upon them. The point is simply to remember that everything comes with responsibilities, sacrifices, and a price tag you don't necessarily always see from the outside. Because the truth is, you're comparing your real life, your behind the scenes, to someone else's highlight reel. And that's not fair to you, is it? You probably heard the number 2 millions of times. But gratitude. When you catch yourself comparing your blessings to someone else's, I want you to grab your journal and name at least one thing you're grateful for and immerse yourself in that feeling of gratitude. Take the lead of your subconscious mind and train it actively to work in your favor. Number 3 is the most reliable source. Pray. Talk to God about what you're feeling because we're humans of sinful nature and He knows it and loves us anyway. Let Him remind you how unique you are, so there's no room left for comparison. Everything we get is a gift from God. And when you appreciate what you have, when you hold it close to your heart, God will bless you with even more, because He trusted that you can handle it and He knows you cherish what you already have. And number 4 is obvious yet underrated. But turn off your phone, consume less of social media, and go touch grass. Instead of looking how other people live their dream lives, get up and start creating your own. Or get busy with your favorite hobbies that help you stay in the present moment. How would the version of you that already has this dream life act? Or if you really want to scroll on your phone, let it at least be something that inspires and motivates you. I really like Pinterest because it only shows you what you really want to see and what you really consume, so you can train and control your algorithm pretty well. And next time you catch yourself wishing for someone else's life, ask yourself, am I feeling envious because there might be a part of me that thinks I can't do the same thing? Or would I still want it if I had to take everything that came with it? Not just the benefits, the good and the bad, because you can't separate the blessing from the burden that often comes with it. We keep forgetting that every life comes with a challenge of its own. There's always a new problem. And the goal isn't to convince yourself that other people's lives are worse than yours. The goal is to stop putting them on a pedestal. Because the moment you stop obsessing over the lives of others, you finally have the space to start building your own. As always, thank you so much for watching. Bye.